Good morning, everybody. We're about to start, so please turn on your cameras and be ready for the attendance. Okay. Iván Almeida. Iván Almeida is not here. Luis Andrade.
Present, teacher.
Thank you, Luis. Wilson Arriaga.
Good morning, Mr. President.
Good morning, Wilson. Thank you. Jorge Arroyo. Jorge Arroyo is not here. Cristina Carrasco.
Present.
Thank you, Cristina. Daniel Delgado. Not here. Nicole de los Ríos.
Presente.
Good morning, Nicole. Cecilia Gaibor.
Present, teacher.
Thank you, Cecilia. María Eugenia Jaya.
Present.
Thank you. Valeria Larrea. Valeria Larrea. Not here yet. María de los Ángeles Espinosa.
Present.
Thank you. Marcos Merchan.
Present.
Thank you. Michelle Olaya.
Present.
Thank you, Michelle. We can't see you, Michelle.
Sí, mister, y ya prendo la cámara.
Okay. Let's continue. Andrea Sánchez.
Good morning, Mr. President.
Good morning. Thank you. Yulisa Silva.
Presente.
Thank
Present.
you. Jordan Suárez. Jordan is not here. Johnny Tomala.
Present.
Thank you, Johnny. Ronnie Tutiven.
Hi, Mr. President.
Hello, thank you. Adrián Villamar.
Present.
Thank you. María Mercedes Villón. Absent. Okay, I go through the attendance again. Iván Almeida.
Present, teacher.
Thank you. Jorge Arroyo.
Present, teacher.
Thank you. Over here, Daniel Delgado.
Present, mister.
Okay, Daniel, thank you. There he is. Valeria Larrea.
La sábana.
Valeria Larrea.
No importa, ya hay que lavar.
Okay. Michelle Olaya. No, sorry. Yes, Michelle Olaya, are you ready?
Yes, mister.
Okay, there you are. Thank you. Jordan Suarez was absent. Maria Mercedes,
Present.
thank you very much. All right. So, we're gonna start with today's session. Today, we have more like a collaborative work among yourselves. All right. Remember, I need everybody to keep the camera on during the session. Yesterday something happened, Ronnie. Did you leave the session?
Yes, mister. I just keep 1 hour.
You were working.
Yes. There was day in the job.
Okay, I understand that. All right, guys, so let's begin with today's session. Today we are going to finish. We have this listening activity pending. Wait, we have a message here. Let me see. Yeah, we're clear. All right. So we have this listening activity pending. I'm going to share the screen so you can all see. Yesterday, the class was based on learning the quantifiers in English, as you can see. We were also talking about the the pronunciation and different words that have the and sound, which will be different depending on the word. Like, you know, if it's a T, it's tough, but if it's a part of a past participle word, it's bought, and laugh, things like that. I mean, different sounds depending on the word it is that we have to learn them. We also did the pronunciation exercise in Flipgrid with these 5 sentences. If you didn't do the Flipgrid, remember it has to be done the same day. Okay, that's very important. It has to be done the same day. Otherwise, it's worth no points. Okay, we also did this reading assignment about information overload, and I asked you some questions regarding how information overload has affected your life in different areas. Most of you talked about your studies. Some of you said that your social life, and it also affects your work and your family life, definitely. We also did some vocabulary in this chapter. And something important that we didn't really check, but it's very simple, is the fact that there are some separable phrasal verbs. In other words, these are phrasal verbs or verbs that have 2 words to form the action, all right, that they can be separated, like the word switch. The word switch is switch on or switch off. And you are allowed to use any order that you want. Okay, you can say, for example, switch on the television or switch the television on. It makes no difference. You can use any form in English, but you can't use the word to get, I mean, you can't separate the pronoun from the verb. Okay, so in other words, you can say, for example, you must say switch it on. You can't say switch on it, like switch on the television. That's not possible because it's a pronoun, right? So just a little hint that you should keep. You can separate the noun. You cannot separate the pronoun, right? Next, we are going to answer some questions with a partner. Actually, that's not the activity, is the one below. all right? But this is related with the listening activity. So I encourage you to pay attention to this listening activity before working the speaking section, all right? Now, this is not precisely an activity because this is not listening yet, but we are going to talk about this book, all right? So the book cover tells you something about the book. There it is, all right? Help me reading this cover, please, Mr. Ronnie.
The Winter of Our Disconnect by Susan Mauchard.
Okay, and the text here, what is it about?
It's about how one family pulled the plug on their technology and like to tell text tweets that tell.
All right. So as you can see, they are disconnecting. They are pulling the plug. Pulling the plug. Remember yesterday we learned the vocabulary word plug. That's a verb talking about cables, right? You plug in and you plug. I'm sorry. Yes. You plug and you unplug. That's how it is. You plug and you unplug. And this time they are saying pull the plug. Pull means unplug. And apparently they did this for a whole season, the winter of our disconnect. Okay, and this mom did this to the children, apparently, right? So this is what the book is about, but it's not about mom, it's more about the teenagers, right? What would you do if your family forces you to be disconnected from everything? Like you can't use your phone, you can't use your computer, you can't connect to internet. How would you feel? I would like to hear some comments about this. I would like to start with Julissa. How would you feel if your family forces you to disconnect from everything?
Disconnect from everything. Um, I will feel rejected. I will feel encarcelada. ¿Cómo se diría en inglés?
Jailed.
Jailed. I will feel mm, I will feel bad because I am doing nothing. I will doing nothing. I can see my phone. I can enter about the news about the situation of the country, and I will feel very bad.
Okay, thank you for sharing your comment, Julissa. Is there any person in this class who would actually enjoy being disconnected from everything? Anybody? Nobody. Everybody is dependent to the phone. All right, I'm going to ask another person. Maria Mercedes, how would you feel in this situation?
I feel good because fine because I like to spend time alone.
You like to spend time alone,
Yes.
right? But remember, you're not spending time alone. Actually, you're together with the
Yes,
family.
myself disconnected myself. But and I like it. Sometimes I forget my cell phone in my house and I feel fine. Um, I stay in with my friends sometimes, and mm, ¿cómo era? No tengo mi celular a la mano. O sea, I don't have with me my cell phone,
Uh-huh.
and I don't care that.
Okay, very good. So that shows that you're not really dependent to your phone, right? Anyway, I asked you because I know you have your business related with being online, being connected. Can you disconnect completely from your business?
No, because I start recently with my business, and all my clients are my friends or family, and we we are talk in person.
Mm-hmm.
um that's all. And entonces no.
Okay, so it's not really necessary to carry the phone all around. Thank you, Maria
Yes.
Mercedes, for sharing. So let's continue reading this little part, okay? The title is a play on words. Shakespeare's play, Richard, what is this? Richard III, Ricardo el Tercero, Richard III opens with the famous phrase, now is the winter of our discontent. So we're gonna see what this is about in a moment. Please help me reading this little section, Ronnie.
Okay. The wise and hilarious story of a
Hilarious,
family who hilarious.
hilarious.
Story of hilarious.
What is hilarious?
This hilarious.
Yes, but what is that? Do you know?
No, I don't know.
Hilarious in Spanish means hilarante. ¿Qué es hilarante?
Es como exaltado, ¿no?
Eh, okay, yeah. It's more like funny, really funny.
Okay.
Okay, continue. The wise and hilarious story.
Of a family who discovered that having fewer tools to communicate with actually led them to communicate more. When Susan Mozart first uh, announced her
Announced.
intentions to pull the plug on her family's entire collection of electronic gadgets for 6 months, her treat kids did not read at all, says Mozart looking back. I can't understand why. They did not hear me.
They didn't hear me. Yeah. So as you can see, this is funny because even when she anticipated to their children that they were unplugging the family for 6 months, the children didn't react. And they didn't react not because they didn't care, but because they didn't listen to her. They didn't understand the message. So this is interesting. And when it says the title is a play of words, because apparently in Shakespeare's play, the character says, now is the winter of our discontent. And the title is the winter of our disconnect. So they're simply changing a word, making reference to discontent, that meaning that they were not going to have a good time, and making reference to Shakespeare, right? That's pretty much what is going on. In English, you can find many wordplay, okay? Juegos de palabras. It's very common, and this is one of them. But you need to understand the reference, of course. Okay, so we're gonna start listening about this, where these people are going to discuss the book. We're not going to read the book. We're going to listen to people making comments about the book. All right? And you're going to help me answer these little questions.
5.19 Part 1
And now it's time for our book of the week, which is The Winter of Our Disconnect by Susan Mousehart. Jenny, to start with, it's a good title, isn't it?
Yes, brilliant. And it was a fascinating experiment and a good read.
Tell us about it.
Well, Susan Mousehart is a journalist who's bringing up 3 teenage children. She decided to do the experiment after reaching a point where she felt that the whole family, especially her children, were all living in their own little worlds, with headphones on, plugged into their laptops or their iPods or their smartphones, and that they weren't relating to the other people in the family.
So it wasn't just her children who were permanently plugged into an electrical device?
Well, she admits that she herself was quite addicted to her phone and to her iPod and her laptop, and that she was constantly reading news sites and Googling information, but it was really her children who were totally dependent on new technology. In the book, she makes the interesting distinction between digital immigrants and digital natives.
What does that mean?
She describes herself as a digital immigrant. That's to say, someone who didn't grow up with digital technology, which is really anyone who was born before 1980. Her children are digital natives, which means that they were born after computers and the internet were already part of life.
Well, that's me then.
Yeah. Well, the main difference, she says, is that digital immigrants use the technology to find information or to listen to music, but digital natives live and breathe the technology. So for them, living without it is like living without water, without electricity, in the dark ages.
What were the rules of the experiment?
The family had to live for 6 months without using any electrical gadgets in the house with a screen. So, no smartphones, no TVs, no laptops or computers, no video consoles, and no iPods. They were allowed to use technology at school or at friends' houses or in internet cafes. And they were allowed to use landline phones, but everything else was switched off for the whole 6 months.
6 months? Gosh, how on earth did she get the children to agree?
She bribed them. She told them she was going to write a book about the experiment and that they would share in any profits that she made from the book.
Wow. No, that was very clever of her.
All right. Interesting. Now let's see if you identify some of the answers. We're definitely listening again. But is there any reason? I mean, did you manage to hear the reason why she decided to do the experiment? Anyone?
Because the children
Yes,
are plugged
a plot.
in laptops, in iPods, in cell phones, and not realizing to the other family member.
Okay, that's good. Very good answer, Cecilia. Thank you very much. What about number 2? It says, was it just her children who were spending too much time using technology? This is a yes or no question. Was it just her children, or was she using technology too much too?
No, it was the whole family.
It was the whole family. Yes, and the family would include which people? Three children. Susan, is there anyone else in the family? Do you remember any other family member? No? All right, we're gonna check. So far, apparently there are only 4, if you don't tell me anything else. What's the difference between digital immigrants and digital natives? That was very, very clear. They mentioned something about the year 1980. So what is it? What's the difference between digital immigrants and digital natives? Nobody? Yes?
Digital immigrants are people who did not grow up with digital
Uh-huh.
technology and digital native
Natives?
are people were born after computer and the internet.
Yes. Very good, Cecilia. Good job. I mean, you're doing very good listening, and you're the only one responding. Extra point for Cecilia. So, immigrants are the people who use technology. It's what she said. They use technology, but digital natives, they use and they breathe technology. They can't live without technology. And everything that they do is related with technology. They use the computer, they use the phone, they calculate how many calories they burn with their smartwatch, right? Are you that kind of person? Do you have a smartwatch that is counting your steps? Well, many people are. So that's a digital native. But digital immigrants will simply use technology as a gadget, as an advantage to do things easier, but not dependent on technology. All right. What about number 4? Do you remember the gadgets that Susan switched off? Do you remember the gadgets? She mentions a list of gadgets she switched
Yeah.
off.
Computers,
Smartphone,
smartphones,
Computers,
phones.
smartphones, what else? Computers, smartphones,
iPods.
TV.
iPods, TV. Wow, TV. All right. And what were they allowed to use? What were they allowed to use?
in a school or friend's house.
Yes, they were allowed to use devices at school, at friend houses, and there was a third place, I believe. And there was another gadget that they were allowed to use. They were allowed to use the line telephone, the classic telephone, not the smartphone. Finally, how did she get the children to agree to the experiment? She offered something. What was it? No? No clue? All right. I'm gonna play the audio again so you can identify the answers. Let me deliver this so I can play it again.
5.19. Part 1.
And now it's time for our book of the week, which is The Winter of Our Disconnect by Susan Mouseheart. Jenny, to start with.
Sorry, I'm gonna do something. I am going to put the speed a little bit slower so we can all understand. Remember, you have this option. You can even put it to half the time, but it sounds weird. Okay? If you're having trouble understanding, you can put the speed down.
5.19 Part 1
And now it's time for our book of the week, which is The Winter of Our Disconnect by Susan Mouseheart. Jenny, to start with, it's a good title, isn't it?
Yes, brilliant. And it was a fascinating experiment and a good read.
Tell us about it.
Well, Susan Mouseheart is a journalist who's bringing up 3 teenage children. She decided to do the experiment after reaching a point where she felt that the whole family, especially her children, were all living in their own little worlds, with headphones on, plugged into their laptops or their iPods or their smartphones, and that they weren't relating to the other people in the family.
So it wasn't just her children who were permanently plugged into an electrical device?
Well, she admits that she herself was quite addicted to her phone and to her iPod and her laptop, and that she was constantly reading news sites and Googling information, but it was really her children who were totally dependent on new technology.
All right, so far we understand that we're talking about her 3 children, and it's only Susan. There's nobody else. She never talks about a husband. She never talks about any other member of the family. Children are very dependent to these devices, but she was using technology herself as well. So the answer for number 2 is no, not just her children. She was there to be blamed as well. So children were very dependable and they were not socializing or interacting with the rest of the family. She was also part of that situation. Now pay attention to this. The digital immigrants and the digital natives.
In the book, she makes the interesting distinction between digital immigrants and digital natives.
What does that mean?
She describes herself as a digital immigrant. That's to say, someone who didn't grow up with digital technology, which is really anyone who was born before 1980. Her children are digital natives, which means that they were born after computers and the internet were already part of life.
Well, that's me then.
Yeah. Well, the main difference, she says, is that digital immigrants use the technology to find information or to listen to music, but digital natives live and breathe the technology. So for them, living without it is like living without water, without electricity, in the dark ages.
What were the rules of the experiment?
The family had to live for 6 months without using any electrical gadgets in the house with a screen. So, no smartphones, no TVs, no laptops or computers, no video consoles, and no iPods. They were allowed to use technology at school or at friends' houses or in internet cafes. And they were allowed to use landline phones, but everything else was switched off for the whole 6 months.
6 months? Gosh, how on earth did she get the children to agree?
She bribed them. She told them she was going to write a book about the experiment and that they would share in any profits that she made from the book.
Wow. Now that was was very clever of her.
Okay, so we were missing some answers here. We know that she did something to make them agree with the experiment. It's a tough experiment. Turning off your devices for 6 months. No video games, no cell phone, no laptop, no television, nothing. What did she offer the children to agree with the experiment? We just heard this. What did she offer? Come on, guys, listening comprehension. Show me that you understood what you heard.
She told the children she was going to write a book about these experiments.
Okay.
And they will sharing any profits.
They would share the profits. So the real answer for number 6 is that she bribed them. Bribe. Do you know what is the meaning of the word bribe? No?
Le robó.
No. No es robar. It's not even similar. I mean, it's in the same context of bad things that you do. But in this time, this was not bad. This was just like bribing is a negative way of saying convincing. So the way that in which she convinced them is because she offered them to pay. To pay what? To pay the profits that she would make from the book. That's what she offered these children. So bribe means coimar. That's bribe. So they agreed because they were getting paid. All right? That's the answer for number 6. All right, so the first activity was 5B. Now we have a part 2 for this audio track. And so far we understand like the whole initiative. We understand the background of the story, the reason, and how she managed to do this, but we don't know the result. What happened after the 6 months? This is what we're gonna learn now in the audio, and you have to determine if the experiment was positive or negative. All right, pay attention, please.
5.20, Part 2.
So, what were the results? Was it a positive experience?
At the end of the book, Susan says that it was a positive experience in every way. At first, of course, the kids complained bitterly. They kept saying they were bored. But then they started to talk to each other again, to go and sit in each other's rooms and chat. They got interested in cooking and reading. They went to the cinema together. They played CDs on the CD player. And they actually sat and listened to the music instead of just having music on their headphones all the time as background music. And Susan's 15-year-old son started playing the saxophone again. He'd stopped playing a few years before, but then he started having lessons again and even started giving concerts. Oh, and the children said that they slept better.
Oh, well, that's good, yeah. But I mean, what about the children's schoolwork? I mean, nowadays we sort of assume that everyone needs the internet to do research for homework and so on.
In fact, the children's school reports showed that they all improved. When they needed the internet, they used the computers at school or at university. The eldest daughter was at university. Or they went to friends' houses. But when they did their homework, they did it better than before because they weren't multitasking. They weren't doing homework and listening to music and sending messages all at the same time.
Right.
So they concentrated better and their schoolwork improved.
What about Susan, the mother? Did she find it difficult to live without modern technology?
What she found most difficult was writing her weekly article for the newspaper, because she had to do it by hand and not on her laptop. She says that at the beginning, her hand used to really ache. She just wasn't used to writing by hand anymore, but that was just a small problem.
Any other negatives?
Well, of course, the phone bill for their landline was enormous.
But
Yeah,
it
I
was.
can imagine.
Has the experiment had a lasting effect?
Susan says that it has. She thinks that they all get on much better as a family. Her son is still playing the saxophone, and he sold his video console. They've all realized that we live in a digital world, but that we need to disconnect from time to time and to reconnect to the people around us. So they have new rules in the house, like no TVs in bedrooms and no TV in the kitchen where they eat, and no wasted hours on the internet.
That sounds great. That would be a good rule for me too.
All right. Overall, the experiment was positive or negative?
It was positive
It was positive. And why? Why is that?
because they started to talk to each other, that cooking, make activities like, I don't know.
Yeah, doing activities together.
Yes, that.
Yes. All right. Okay. So we're ready for the next activity here. We need to complete the sentences, apparently with your own words. Let's see what this is about. Oh, cool. Another of these activities. Okay, so we're gonna finish this on your own. Okay. You can play the audio track again as many times as you need. At the beginning, the children complained that. Later, they started too. Her son, their mom. So you have a bunch of situations that happen one after the other. I would like you to complete this. I'm going to give you 7 minutes, not 10. 7 minutes to complete this little activity. So you can play the audio track like 2 times. Guys, 1 more minute to finish. Okay, so most of you have finished. I'm sorry, not most of you. Some of you have finished. The rest, I'm gonna check. I'm gonna use as a reference Mr. Let me see. Miss Maria de Los Ángeles. We're gonna check your responses.
Okay.
Okay, let's check. If you wrote anything similar to this, well, to the correct answer, then you know it's right. Okay, let's see.
5.20, Part 2.
So, what were the results? Was it a positive experience?
At the end of the book, Susan says that it was a positive experience in every way. At first, of course, the kids complained bitterly. They kept saying they were bored. But then...
Yes, they were bored. So question 1, answer 1 is correct. They were bored and they were complaining, and not just complaining, they were bitterly complaining. Very British expression. They were bitterly complaining, like they were annoying. They were, you know, bitter means amargo. So they were complaining in a very bad way. But later something happened.
They started to talk to each other again, to go and sit in each other's rooms and chat.
To talk to each other again. Good job, Maria de Los Ángeles. And I would like to add something else. It says that they would go to each other's rooms and sit and chat and have conversations with each other. So yes, very good. Number 3, let's see.
They got interested in cooking and reading. They went to the cinema together.
Oh, more answers for number 2. They went to the cinema together. They started cooking and singing and doing many activities together.
They played CDs on the CD player.
They played CDs on the CD player. Look at that. They could not use the computer to play music, so they were using the CD player, like in the past, like what, 20 years ago.
And they actually sat and listened to the music instead of just having music on their headphones all the time as background music. And Susan.
So they were listening to the music, paying attention to the music, to the lyrics, not just having background music. You know, background, música de fondo. So they are listening to the music, but they are doing something else. No, they were sitting because they were focusing on the music. Still, we're in number 2.
Susan's 15-year-old son started playing the saxophone again. He'd stopped playing a few years before, but then he started having lessons again and even started giving concerts. Oh.
All right, so we have a musician in the house. Just one little correction, Maria de Los Angeles. Her son started to play, not started to playing, right? Now you could use another form. Her son started playing, and you eliminate the 2. The problem is the 2 is part of the answer, so you can't eliminate that. But you know, the expression is correct if you eliminate the 2. So yeah, he started playing saxophone, which he had stopped playing a few years before the experiment, and he even gave concerts. So he was really into the instrument. Now, this makes me wonder, what happens to the children and the teenagers who have a very interesting talent, and they have so many distractions that they don't really care about their talent, and they waste it. I think that happens today a lot. So many people that have so many talents and they are distracted so much that they don't really work their talent. It's sad.
And the children said that they slept better.
Oh, well, that's good, yeah. I mean, what about the children's schoolwork?
Well, it's not really an answer, but maybe for number 2, they started to sleep better. They had less screen time, you know, less videos, less light, blue light, maybe. I don't know. So they were sleeping better. That's positive, definitely. If you are having trouble sleeping, then you might just try to disconnect from your devices a little bit.
I mean, nowadays we sort of assume that everyone needs the internet to do research for homework and so on.
In fact, the children's school reports showed that they all improved. When they
This is also interesting. All the children improved their grades. That's what they mean with scores, right? They have better grades at school. Grades son calificaciones. Scores, calificaciones. All right, they improve the school.
needed the internet, they used the computers at school or at university. The eldest daughter was at university. Or they went to friends' houses. But when they did their homework, they did it better than before because they weren't multitasking. They weren't doing homework and listening to music and sending messages all at the same time.
Right.
So they concentrated better and their schoolwork improved.
What about Susan, the mother? Did she find it difficult to live without modern technology?
What she found most difficult was writing her weekly article for the newspaper, because she had to do it by hand and not on her laptop. She says that at the beginning, her hand used to really ache. She just wasn't used to writing by hand anymore, but that was just a small problem.
Any other negatives?
Well, of course, the phone bill for their landline was enormous.
I can imagine.
Okay, so that would be the answer for number 4, right? Their mother found it was difficult to, well, just a spelling correction, to write her weekly article for the newspaper because she had to do it by hand and not on her laptop. Great response, Maria de Los Angeles. Thank you. Another negative thing was, and this was like a funny joke, the phone bill, but landline. What was the exact expression? Let me check.
And not on her laptop. She says that at the beginning, her hand used to really ache. She just wasn't used to writing by hand anymore, but that was just a small problem.
Any other negatives?
Well, of course, the phone bill for their landline was enormous.
Oh, okay. So she says these words fast.
Her hand used to really ache. She just wasn't used to writing by hand anymore, but that was just a small problem.
Any other negatives?
Well, of course, the phone bill for their landline was enormous.
Even now I am having trouble understanding this word.
Small problem.
Any other negatives?
Well, of course, the phone bill for their landline was enormous.
Yeah. It's not but, it's for. It's for. But again, it's difficult to understand because British English will not pronounce the R, right? So they say the phone bill for the landline was enormous. So yeah, I mean, the R makes a difference if you're not used to it. The phone bill for their landline was enormous. Their landline means la línea fija, maybe. That's the expression in Spanish. All right. And finally, we have number 6. They now have new house rules. For example,
I can imagine.
Has the experiment had a lasting effect?
Susan says that it has. She thinks that they all get on much better as a family. Her son is still playing the saxophone, and he sold his video console. They've all realized that we live in a digital world, but that we need to disconnect from time to time and to reconnect to the people around us. So they have new rules in the house, like no TVs in bedrooms and no TV in the kitchen where they eat, and no wasted hours on the internet.
That sounds great. That would be a good rule for me too.
very good, Maria de Los Angeles. All right. Let me start sharing the other screen again. Okay, I hope everybody finished this activity. Yes, you did. Very good. Wait. Marcos Merchan.
Yes.
How did you finish the activity in 51 seconds? The audio is almost 3 minutes.
I have already read the script.
You already read the script. I don't understand. Or maybe you were. Let me see. Oh, I can tell. All right, Marcos. Thank you for your honesty. Let's continue. All right. What else? What else? We have the word. Oh, we have a part 3 for the audio track. Interesting. What is this about? Oh, before I play it. Oh, now we are going to listen to different guests. Remember that this is not the author talking. This is just one person from the radio program, and they have a bunch of invitees, bunch of people, guests, and they are saying if they would miss the experiment or not. So you have to determine if they did or no. Okay, what does each guest say he or she would miss? Before we continue, I need to take the attendance. Let me do this fast. Ivan?
Present, teacher.
Thank you. Luis?
Present, teacher.
Thank you. Do you have your meeting? Luis Andrade, do you have your meeting? Or is next hour?
No, it's next hour.
Next hour,
Sorry.
right.
11.
Wilson?
Present, mister.
Thank you. Jorge? Jorge, is Jorge here? No, okay. Cristina?
Present.
Thank you. Daniel?
Present.
Thank you. Cecilia?
Present, teacher.
Thank you. María Eugenia?
Present.
Thank you. Valeria?
Present.
Thank you. María de los Ángeles?
Present.
Thank you. Marcos?
Present.
Thank you. Michelle?
Present.
Thank you. Andrea?
Present.
Thank you. Julissa?
Present.
Thank you. Jordan? Johnny?
Present.
Thank you. Ronnie?
Present.
Thank you. Adrián?
Present.
Thank you. María Mercedes?
Present.
Thank you. All right. Now we can continue with part 3 of the audio track before we start with our activity. Let's listen.
5.21. Part 3.
OK, so imagine you all did the experiment. What would you miss the most? Sally?
Well, I already live without the internet many weekends because we have a house in the country in the middle of nowhere where there's no internet coverage. So I know that what I would miss most is being able to Google information, like the phone number of a restaurant or what time a film starts. Or even, dare I say it, the football results. I don't have a TV, so I wouldn't miss that. But I would miss not having the internet.
Andrew?
Why?
Okay. What would she miss? Did you
Not
get it?
having internet.
Not having, yeah, not having internet, but something specific. She mentions a specific name at the beginning.
The internet.
Yeah, but something about the internet. She needs to search for a restaurant number or an address. What is it? She says Google. Didn't you hear that?
No internet coverage. So I know that what I would miss most is being able to Google information.
Being able to Google information. That's what she would miss. Now, obviously, Google works with internet, but this is what she misses, Google. All right, let's continue with the next one.
I wouldn't miss that, but I would miss not having the internet.
Andrew?
Well, I simply couldn't live without a computer or a laptop because I work from home, so I don't have an office to go to, and I absolutely need the internet too. I couldn't do the experiment. I just wouldn't be prepared to go to an internet cafe all day to work. Susan, the journalist who did the experiment, only had to write 1 column a week, but I work from home 8 hours a day.
Jenny?
All right. What would it be?
Computer.
A computer or laptop.
Computer or
Computer or
laptop,
laptop.
yes. Computer or laptop. Now, he mentions internet as well. And there's a difference, right? The person who wrote the book, she had to write 1 column a day. So it pretty much it's a very simple job, but he has to work 8 hours a day. So there's no way he can live without the computer, because without the computer, he can't work. That's a problem. All right, let's listen to Jenny.
I think I could do it. I think I could easily live without any of these electrical gadgets at home. I mean, I have my office, so I could use the internet there. I don't use an iPod. I still prefer to listen to CDs.
You old dinosaur.
Yes, I know. And I don't watch much TV. I am quite attached to my BlackBerry, but I wouldn't mind using a normal phone for 6 months. I don't think there's anything I'd miss too much.
All right, what would Jenny miss the most? Anyone? She mentioned a specific brand of smartphone.
BlackBerry.
BlackBerry. Yes, she would miss her BlackBerry. How old is this audio track? Right? She would miss her BlackBerry. And there's an expression here. When she said that she normally listens to music with CD players, another person calls her old dinosaur. Old dinosaur. Because she is using things from the past. But she would miss the BlackBerry. That's it. Most of the things she already has them solved, because she does have an office. All right, and the last one, Nick.
And finally, Nick, our only digital native.
Well, I'm sorry, but I just wouldn't be prepared to even try the experiment. Not even for a week, let alone 6 months. I wouldn't be prepared to live without my phone. I use it for everything. Phoning, music, the internet. So no, I wouldn't do it.
Not even if you were offered money?
It would have to be a huge amount of money. No, I'm definitely not going to do it.
No, shame on you.
What would he miss the most?
His phone.
His phone. His phone. Because he does everything with his phone, right? He would call people, he would message, he would listen to music. He can't live without his phone. And he's a digital native. Digital native means that he breathes technology. So, of course, he's very dependent to technology. All right. So, for the final part of this first half of the class, I'm going to ask you to work on this idea that we have already analyzed here, and you are going to discuss this with a partner. So we are going to separate students in breakout rooms to answer these 3 questions. All right? Have you ever had to live without the internet for a few days or more? Do you think Susan Mosshart experiment was a good idea? If you had to do an experiment, what do you think you would miss the most? All right? And very important that you include in your answers this language. The thing that I'd miss the most is I need my phone, or I need my computer for, I can't live without this because I'm addicted to this, I depend on it, and so on. So these are the words, the expressions that I'm expecting you to use for the answers in number 1, 2, and 3. All right? I am going to, once again, let me see.
Mister, one question.
Tell me your question.
We don't need to do the last activity in the platform, right?
Which one?
The last one.
This one?
Mm-hmm.
Or this one? Part 3?
Yes, part 3.
Yeah, no. These activities are just for you to share your answers with me
Okay.
because you have to write them. So don't
But
worry. Right
we
now,
already not to do in the platform.
no, it's not necessary. I
Okay.
mean, you can do them, but they are not worth any points.
Okay.
Okay, the last activity we did were yesterday, the vocabulary. All
Okay,
right,
thank you.
and right now we are doing this, where is it? This assignment that discuss the questions with a partner, but that's not in the platform. I am going to grade that in my Excel.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, guys, so please take a screenshot of these questions so you can keep them. I am going to move you to breakout rooms. All right, we have, I'm gonna assign them manually. Right. 1 and 2. Number 2. Let me see, Cecilia. Cecilia Bacon.
Teacher,
Yes, Daniel?
this activity is in flip read.
No, this is not in Flipgrid. This is here in Zoom. Everything happens in Zoom.
Okay.
Yes, don't worry. Okay. Listo por acá. Mhm. I'm making the groups, by the way. I'm not doing this randomly. I'm choosing person with each other. There. Sure. Okay. I'm gonna make one group of 3, by the way. Here. There. Okay. You can enter the room. I'm gonna give you 10 minutes to work on your answers. All right. And then you share with us what you have done in the breakout rooms.
¿Me hacer una consulta?
Yes, Ronnie, in English, please.
Everyone need answer the question, or one read the question and another one answer the question?
That's the idea, but all of you need to answer their own responses.
Okay.
All right. So how are you planning this? How are you going to do this asking and answering?
I'm thinking that maybe I can start asking both of you, and then when I finish, Maria can ask us, and when we finish, Ronnie can ask Maria and I. Maybe.
That sounds good. All right. You should do your responses first. Have your responses ready so you know what to say. I'm gonna visit another group.
Okay.
We're going to discuss about the first question. and uh, I going to ask Jorge about it. Yes, teacher.
Okay, and are you preparing your responses already?
And, yes.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Daniel.
Okay, Jorge. Have
If
Hey
you
guys,
had,
sorry for the interruption. I just have to visit some of the groups to keep the recording going on. So please do what you were doing already.
ok, tiene que estar grabado, va a estar grabado.
Yes, I need to keep the recording going on, so that's why I'm visiting the groups. You continue what you're doing. It's just for 1 minute.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. If you had to do experiment, what do you think you will miss the most? Why?
The thing I miss most is my smartphone.
Hey guys, how are you working this activity?
Because I asked to him and he is like analyzing the question and writing the, you know,
That sounds great. Yes.
the
Are you
answer.
practicing
So
already?
no, we're not ready. But Mister, are you gonna ask me about him and you are gonna ask him about me?
I'm not going to ask anything. You are the ones who are going to ask each other. I will just
Okay.
be the spectator.
Okay, Mister.
Okay, you can continue. I'm visiting the groups because I need the recording to keep going. So
Okay.
I'll stay here for 1 minute, no more.
Okay. Well, I don't know if you have ready the answers. Wilson, are you ready?
1 minute, 1 minute.
Okay.
Hey guys.
Okay, without,
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I need a recording
No.
going on, so I'm just visiting the groups. You can continue.
okay, continue, Iva. Without
Ajá.
gadgets, like cell phone,
The question, right?
the second,
Second
do you
question.
think Susan's Mauchet's experience was a good idea? Why? Why not?
Te lo respondo en español y después lo traducimos cuando nos toque responder.
Experiment, what do you think you will miss the most? Why?
Well, that's an interesting question. And to be honest, what I could miss the most is about, first of all, is the internet, and then will be social media.
Hello guys, can you explain to me how you're working this out?
Yes, I comment what my partner said. Well, my partner said that in the first question, have you ever had to live without the internet for a few days or more? When you were on holiday somewhere, did you miss it a lot? She
Hey, Johnny,
commented.
I'm sorry, but I'm not really asking you that now. I'm gonna ask you that later. I was hoping to see you practicing. That's what I was expecting to see.
Yes.
All right.
I make the question again. Okay. Well, have you ever have to live without the internet for a few days or more? when you were on holiday somewhere, did you miss it a lot? Or why not?
Yes, yes, when I moved house, I was without.
Hello, Adrian. Were you practicing? I was hoping to see some interaction.
Yes, Mister. I will do the dynamic. One question is means one is will ask one question and the other answer, and the same question ask again for the other person that didn't answer it.
I understand the dynamic, Adrian. I told you I was hoping to find you practicing speaking. Were you doing that?
Oh, yeah, but some answer I don't know need
Okay,
to.
that is fine, Adrian. You can continue working.
Okay, Miss. Great. Okay. Looks like that.
Hello, guys. How are you working this together?
We finished.
Oh, you finished already.
Uh-huh.
Actually, you're right. We have the 10 minutes done. Thank you, Yulisa. We'll bring everybody back to the room.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, guys, after 10 minutes of working together, I would like to see what you came up with. So we're gonna go in order. I'm gonna start with Adrian and Andrea, room number 1, which is not room anymore, it's group. I'm not saying room anymore. Adrian and Andrea, group 1.
Okay. Okay.
Uh, Adrian, you ever had to live without the internet for 5 days more, a year when you were on holiday from work? Did you mix it a lot with no?
Okay. I had been without internet for a few days. Yes. Mm, Mainly for holiday. I mean, I miss a little the internet, but it's not essential thing. I mean, I miss had the opportunity to share or see some videos maybe, but it's not essential part. I mean, I miss yes, but it's not a lot. Andrea, have you ever had to live without the internet for a few days or more when you were on holiday or somewhere? Do you miss is a lot? Why or why not?
If I had to live with on internet, especially in the country scene. I had no reality misses because being they are in these days and I can't distract myself with another activity. Adrian,
Okay.
number, do you think Susan Master share experiment was a good idea? Which not?
Yes, for me it was a good idea because it's interesting to kind of know what happened when some not the digital uh, what they can do via internet. I mean, what was the reaction, the situation that they are living with internet. It's interesting to know. Maybe can help to understand the situation that the situation that we live in nowadays. Andrea, do you think Susan Massar experiment was a good idea? Why or why
The truth is that seems very useful to me. To me, no, no good time. People looking like zombies on the desert, the business. It will help us disconnection from life a little digital. Number three, Adrian, if you have to do experiment, what to do to do thing you will miss the most? Why?
If I do the experiment, I will miss a lot my e-paper Kindle. I mean, I really like to read. I mean, read each day, so I really I would really miss my Kindle because we have the opportunity of read. Maybe I will be a little frustrated. If you have to do the experiment, what do you think you would miss the most? Why?
What I would miss most will be talking with my friend, parents, or the playing online games. But every day I would be at speed, taxi, yes, taxi, with myself for a moment. Thank you.
All right, Adrian and Andrea, I really enjoy that you had a very interesting, a very nice and acceptable pace of conversation. All right, when I say pace, I mean the speed. It wasn't too slow, it wasn't too fast, it was just natural. And this is something positive. Now, the something negative that we need to improve is the pronunciation of certain words. Example, Andrea, it's not idea. Idea is in Spanish. In English is idea. All right. And from now on, if you, I mean, I tell you this because after the question, when Adrian was answering the question, Adrian mentioned the word idea correctly. So, Adrian, if you notice, and everyone else, if you notice that your partner uh, is having a situation where they can improve something, you let them know. All right? You let them know. At least you emphasize the word. Like if the person says, what idea do you have? What idea do you have? Well, the idea that I have, it's like you don't have to say you make a mistake and this is how you do it. You simply do it correctly, emphasizing with the tone of your voice. All right? That's how everybody should do this in order to improve altogether. All right. I am not planning to interrupt any of these participations like at any point. I will just make the comments at the end because I need this to flow naturally. All right. So thank you, Adrian. Thank you, Andrea. Let's continue with room number 2 where we have Cecilia and Nicole. Go ahead, ladies, your turn.
Nicole, have you ever had to live without the internet for a few days or more? When you were on holiday somewhere, did you miss it a lot? Why not?
I think when I go to the university, I use more my iPad for study and make some homeworks, but I couldn't live without these things and the internet even during the holidays.
Okay, do you think Susan Mauscher experiment was a good idea? Why not?
I think it's a good experiment because it's interesting, disconnect for the other things and
If,
work for ourselves.
okay, if you have to do the experiment, what do you think you will miss the most? What? Why?
Uh, I I won't have because I addicted for the internet, but I can live without my computer, but my iPad and my mobile, no. Okay, have you ever had to live without the internet for a few days or more when you were on holidays somewhere? Did you miss it a lot? Why not?
And when I got on a trip, I hardly use my cell phone, and the truth is that I don't need it all the time, only to take photo or send a message to my parents, but from the on when I travel, I not use my cell phone.
Do you think Susan Mozart's experiment was a good idea? Why not?
I feel that is a good idea, since this way she was able to spend more time with her children and they learning the lesson that it is not necessary to have the cell phone all the time or we aware of them.
If you had to do the experiment, what do you think you will miss the most? Why?
I will miss the cell phone and the TV because that is what I use the most time. Thank you.
All right, ladies, very good. Thank you very much for this participation. Um, well, I had to do some things on the screen so we could have Cecilia, because Cecilia, again, pointing out this for the recording, Cecilia is working on two devices. So we can see Cecilia in one device, but her voice is coming from another device that has the camera off. Just to point that out. Not to the students know, to whoever person is watching the recording. So one little thing, Nicole, you have a very natural pace as well. This is something positive, so conversation flows naturally. But Nicole, I'm gonna need you to consider that this was supposed to be like a conversation. So I'm saying you this because at the end, you mentioned something, and in your question you said, why not? Why not, assuming that the answer was already no, when it actually was yes, right? So that is something that we should consider, because if we are having a conversation, you normally expect to wait for the answer, and then you understand if the answer was yes or no. I don't remember exactly which question was this, so let me see. Oh, so number 3. No, number 2 was, do you think the experiment was a good idea? Why not? I mean, so you are assuming that the person will say, no, it was not a good idea. It was a bad idea. And that is not right. You have the word not in parentheses just in case the person says no. You don't anticipate to that. So that's the only thing I would like to point out, Nicole. Um, computer, not computer, computer. Be careful. In your case, Cecilia, very good. I was just hoping that you would read less, try to be like more spontaneous. Preparing answers for this kind of activities is okay, but just as a guideline, como una guía, not to have the whole script. No es un libreto that you are expected to read, because that will simply take away all the intention of a speaking assignment. All right, that's my feedback for you, ladies. And just in case you were wondering, we won't probably have enough time to finish this activity before the break. So I am going to give priority to group 6, which has Luis Andrade here because there's a situation he has a meeting. And after Luis, I'm going to give the opportunity to room number 4, which is Daniel and Jorge, because Daniel, sorry, not Daniel, Jorge has an appointment, a medical appointment, so we're gonna give priority to this group.
Mister, but we can do the exercise. I have time.
You didn't finish the exercise.
No, we finished the exercise. So I have time to do it because my appointment is in like 30 minutes.
That's okay. That's okay. But I mean, nobody else has any other issue like this. So that's why I'm asking
Okay.
Luis first and then Jorge. And if
Okay.
you have to leave after you do the presentation, no problem. You already did it. All
Yeah.
right. Thank you, Jorge, for letting me know. Luis and Julissa, you're next.
Okay, I will start. Luis, have you ever had to live without the internet for a few days or more? For example, when you were on holiday somewhere, did you miss it a lot? Why or why not?
Yes, and for example, when I'm going to travel to my grandparents' house, uh, because they live in Naranjal, in this country or city, they don't have the signal, and for anymore, I don't have internet in my smartphone. The thing I miss most is my smartphone and my PS4. On my smartphone because in my smartphone is all of my information about around me for my friends or family anymore. Okay. Have you ever had to live without the internet for a few days or more when you were on holiday somewhere? Did you miss it a lot? Why or why not?
When my cell phone was stolen, I was able to go for at least almost a month without it. And I feel good because I didn't feel worried about things happening at work until the next day. And not talking to anyone via WhatsApp was nice. Okay. Do you think Susan Mousehart's experiment was a good idea? Why or why not?
Okay, in my personal opinion, it's a bad idea because actually, um, I need use it the smartphone for seeing or TV for see news about the country or about the world. And for me, it's a bad idea. Okay. Do you think Susan Mouchart's experiment was a good idea? Why or why not?
Okay, I think it is a good idea for young children who have this difficult to abstain from their technology device. I don't know if it works with adults because they really are caged in their technology world and already depends entirely on it. Okay, if you had to do this experiment, what do you think you will miss the most and why?
Okay, and the thing that I miss most is my smartphone, because it's the information about me, the communication with my family, with my friends, with my about my work of because the patient is write me for anything a consult or anything. Okay. If you had to do experiment, what do you think you will miss the most? Why?
Okay, I think I will miss my cell phone and computer, which are the two devices that keep me posted and keep me informed of the world and the situation of the country.
Thank you.
All right, guys, very good. I really enjoyed this conversation. And I actually have no further comments. Maybe just a few little pronunciation issues, but most of the time everything was clear. So good job. Let's continue. The next group will be group number 4, Daniel and Jorge.
Yes, Mr. Jorge, begin.
Okay. Daniel, have you ever had to live without the internet for a few days or more? When you were on holiday somewhere, did you miss it? Why or why not?
Okay. No, I think just a few hours when I went to the beach by car. I didn't miss because during the trip I used my phone for reading an ebook that I had download. Okay. Question 2. Do you think Susan Mouchard's experiment was a good idea? Why or why not?
Okay, Susan's experiment was a good idea since she saw all the pros and cons. So her experiment was success since the kids now stop using electronic devices and look time for themselves and share with their classmates with the other kids besides being able to do their old hobbies. And wait, the last question. If you had to do the experiment, what do you think you will miss the most? Why?
Okay, the thing I miss most is internet because it is an essential tool for studying, making friends, and also working. Thank you.
All right, boys. Thank you very much. The pronunciation is very good. Maybe one or two little things, but there is a situation here, both of you. I feel more in Daniel's case than Jorge, but both of you have a similar situation. I feel that you're putting all your focus on the correct pronunciation of words, and you are sacrificing the natural pace of the conversation, right? Your conversation is a little bit slower than what a natural conversation is supposed to be, okay? Which is not bad. As English students, you are expected to do it because you are prioritizing the right pronunciation and the good use of language and vocabulary. But if there's anything we can improve, is the pace. Once again, the space means how, I mean, it's not speaking faster, but it's speaking in a more natural speed. All right? That's pretty much what I have to say. But anyways, this was a very nice conversation. And most importantly, everything was clear because you are prioritizing your pronunciation. So that's good.
Thank you, Mr.
You're welcome.
Thank you,
Daniel
Mr.
and Jorge. All right. Next group. Now we can go back to the normal order of the day. And I guess we will have time for one more group. Christina and Johnny.
Okay. Well, the first question is, have you ever had to live without the internet for a few days or more? when you were on holiday somewhere, did you miss it a lot? Why? Why or why not?
Yes, when I moved house, I was without internet for 1 month because we were the first ones to live here.
Okay. The second question is, do you think Susan motion experience was a good idea? Why or why not?
Yes, because in the end, eh, it has benefits like learning to do things without technology. technology.
Okay. The question three is, if you had to do the experiment, what do you think you will miss the you? What do you think you will miss the most? What?
I will miss my phone because I spend most of my time with it.
Okay. Now you ask me.
Have you ever have to live without the internet for a few days or more when you were on holiday somewhere? Did you miss it a lot? Why or why not?
Yes, I was without internet for a while when I was when I went on excursion. I I need the internet a lot because, in my personal opinion, I want to do many things and I was very limited, even in sending a simple message.
Do you think Susan Mosher experiment was a good idea? Why or why not?
I think it was a good idea because in this way she could concentrate on his own things.
If you have to the experiment, what do you think you will miss the most? Why?
I think that what I will miss the most will be the internet because I couldn't communicate with my family or friends. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Christina and Johnny. First, I am going to give the feedback to Christina. Christina, this is an important improvement. I feel that you are speaking with more confidence than at the beginning. Remember, we have already been doing this since December, and now that we are almost finished in January, I feel that you have improved. But the pronunciation of certain basic words is still harming the communication purpose. In other words, what you're saying is very difficult to understand if very key words of your message are not mentioned correctly. ¿Ok? En otras palabras, Cristina, a veces la pronunciación puede mejorar, pero pronunciar mal no necesariamente afecta el mensaje. En el caso suyo, hay algunas palabras claves que sí afectan el mensaje y hacen que la comprensión de lo que está diciendo se vuelva un poco más difícil. All right, this is what we need to improve, Cristina. Pronunciation of the basic words. In your case, Johnny, it's a similar feedback to the one I gave Jorge and Daniel. You are focusing on the pronunciation of the words, which is correct, but sacrificing the natural pace. And it's not that you are speaking slower, but you are making unnecessary pauses after every word. Okay, it's like you say a word and you say a half-second pause and then the next word and so on. And once again, this is because you're focusing your attention on pronunciation, which is good because you're learning the language. But if I have to say there's something you can improve, is this. All right. Thank you very much. And I guess it's time for the break. So you are all allowed to turn off your cameras and we will come back in 15 minutes. All right, thank you very much. See you in a while. All right. Let's begin with Ivan Almeida.
Present, teacher.
There you are. Thank you, Ivan. Luis, well, he had his situation. Wilson.
Present, Mr.
Thank you, Wilson. Wilson, question, where is your store?
En Guayaquil.
Yeah, I bet it is, but I mean, where, in what part of Guayaquil?
Autopista Narcisa de Jesús.
Autopista. Oh, okay. Because you sell spare parts, right?
Yes.
Repuestos.
No, material de construction.
Oh, construction material. Okay, that was a good English, Mr. Wilson. Solo que al revés.
Okay.
Construction material in Avenida Narcisa. Okay, but good location. I guess
Yes.
you had the constructions of all the other neighborhoods there, Metropolis, right?
Yes.
Okay, very good, Wilson. Thank you. Let's continue. By the way, who sent me a message before? Nicole. Nicole, you had a problem with the computer, right?
Yes, I have a problem with an activity. I sent a message.
Yes. Let me. All right. Yeah, I didn't know it was you, so. Okay. Now I know. I will fix that in a moment. Jorge Arroyo, are you still here? No, but he announced that he was leaving for a moment, so no problem. Cristina,
Present.
thank you. Daniel,
Present, Mr.
thank you. Nicole is here. Cecilia,
Present, teacher.
thank you, Cecilia. María Eugenia,
Present.
thank you. Valeria,
Present.
thank you. María de los Ángeles,
Present.
thank you. Marcos,
Present.
thank you. Michelle,
Present.
thank you. Andrea,
Present.
thank you. Julissa, Julissa,
Present.
there she is, thank you. Johnny, no, Jordan, Johnny,
Yes.
thank you, Johnny. Ronnie,
Present.
thank you, Ronnie. Adrián,
Present.
thank you. María Mercedes,
Present.
very good. All right. So, boys and ladies, I'm gonna share the screen so you can see the picture that we were working with. There we go. All right. And the breakout rooms to see the groups. Okay, so we finished with Johnny and Cristina. So the next group is Valeria and Wilson. Valeria and Wilson, go ahead.
Well, the first one, have you ever had to live without the internet for a few days or more? When you were on holiday somewhere, did you miss it a lot? Why or why not?
Yes. Yes. On vacation last year, we visited my wife family in Paris, in Cuenca, a place where practically being pure countryside. The internet did not reach, which meant I was caught all
for 4 days, but I was pleasant to lie together. Okay. Valeria. I have, have you ever to lie without the internet for a few days or more? As when you were on holidays somewhere, did you miss its logs? Why not?
Well, yes, when I went to United States for the first time, my dad said that we don't have to use our phone, so we didn't use it. And yes, I miss it a lot because, the social medias, Instagram, all of those things, I miss it a lot. So yes, that. The second question, do you think Susan Mozart's experiment was a good idea? Why or why not?
Number two, do you think Susan Mixer experiment was God's idea? Why not?
Well, I'm gonna answer first. And yes, it was for a little bit like that for me that each other told to like they pass time together and all of those things. But the internet is so important because you need it for, I don't know, search information or see news or something like that. More in those days, like here in Ecuador, you need to know what is happening outside your house and all those things. And the question for you, like, do you think Susan Mozart experiment was a good idea? Why or why not? Your microphone, Wilson.
I think that I was an idea because personality it allows you to books aside or phones to be able to live with family or friends in a more dynamic way. Okay. Number three. If you are to do experiments, what do you think you was miss the most? Why?
I think the thing I will miss most is the internet because, like I said before, you need to know what is happening outside your house and all those things. And obviously social media, like I need to see Twitter, Instagram, all of that. And you, Wilson, if you had to do the experiment, what do you think you will miss the most? Why?
I consider that I will miss the daily information being aware of what is happening in our environment on our country. Thank you.
All right, Valeria and Wilson, very good. I would like to start with Wilson. Wilson, very good pace, all right? I can see that you are trying hard to do this properly, although you still need to fix some of the pronunciation of the words. The message is somehow clear, but there are certain words that makes it more complicated. But at the end, the message reaches the audience and people can understand what you were talking about, even if they don't understand every single word, which is not a problem because it's not like you are making mistakes on every single word, just a few words, just little things. In your case, Valeria, I do need to point out that the conversation skill is supposed to be a two-direction conversation, not just one. And the fact that you were able to recover from a little confusion that happened between Wilson and you, and he was supposed to answer, and he asked you the question back, and you responded correctly. That's something good. That is what I would expect from you. So thank you, Valeria. Great job. Let's continue. Now we have group number 6, which was Luis. He already did. Group 7, which is Maria. Oh, wait. This was a group of 3. Who am I missing? Maria Eugenia, Ronnie,
Y María de Los Ángeles.
Maria de Los Angeles, which is, where is she?
Here.
No, I mean in the breakup rooms.
With them, with both of them.
Yeah.
With Ronnie
Oh,
and
wait, Maria de Los
María.
Angeles, did you leave the Zoom session and came back?
No.
No, that's weird. All right, but never mind. The 3 of you are here, so you can start.
Okay, so I am started asking the questions for María Eugenia. Have you ever have to live without the internet for a few days or more? Example, when you were on holiday somewhere, did you miss it a lot? Why or why not?
Oh, yes, 2 days due to a problem with the internet company. And for example, on vacations, I always net the internet for, for us and social networks.
Okay, do you think Susan Mashwart's experiment was a good idea? Why or why not?
Yes, it was a positive experiment because she was connected more as a family.
If you have to do the experiment, what do you think you will miss the most? Why?
What I will miss the most is the internet because it helps me stay informed. I need Google to study and I am addicted to watching TikTok. Um, Ruben had to ever had to live without the internet for a few days or more. Example, when you were on holiday, some words did you miss it a lot? Why or why not?
Once I visited relatives far from the city for a couple days where there was not internet, and I miss it a lot because I can't live without seeing news on social networks.
Okay. Do you think Susan Mauster's experiment was a good idea? Why or why not?
I think it's a very good idea because we cannot always depend on the internet. We need to do daily things without depending of the internet.
Okay. If you had to the experiment, what do you do? Think you will meet the most? Why?
Well, if I did the experiment, I will miss my cell phone because I am addicted to always having it with me. I never go out with my cell phone.
Okay.
Okay. Now, question for Maria de Los Angeles. 1. Have you ever had to live without internet for a few days or more? When you were on holiday somewhere, did you miss it a lot? Why?
Okay, of course that I have to live without internet because when I was a teenager, I have my first cell phone when I was 15 years old. So before 15, I lived without one. At that time, I don't have too much access to internet, so I pass the most time playing with my cousin. And in holidays, I use more the cell phone for taking photos more than other thing. So if I don't have it, it's not a problem for me because I don't miss it a lot because I spend time with my family.
Do you think Susan Moschar's experiment was a good idea? Why?
Maybe it's not the best decision because we use technology for all the activities in our lives, like in the work and our studies, but I understand the intention because her whole family is addicted to the internet and they needed to and they needed a little disconnection and spend time with the family, but maybe they could restrict it, but not completely.
If you had to do the experiment, what do you think you will miss the most and why?
If I have to do the experiment, the thing that I miss the most is my cell phone because I use it for taking photos because I use it for save memories in my camera roll.
Okay, I was expecting, I don't know, thank you, something like to give an end to the session, right? The way that you responded made me feel that you were going to do something else, but apparently not. Weird silence. Okay, so feedback. What do we have here? I'm gonna start with Maria de Los Angeles. Excellent job. Nothing else to say.
Thank you.
Next, Ronnie Tutiven. In your case, Ronnie, very good pace, natural pace, definitely. Just a few words that you need to improve the pronunciation, but that comes with practice. So good job. Finally, Maria Eugenia, I was very happy to listen to you today. All right, I can feel that you are actually making a huge effort on improving your English skills. And in your case, I would say that it's pretty much the opposite to what I told Daniel and Jorge, and later I told Johnny. So they sacrifice pace in order to do a correct pronunciation. In your case, it's the opposite. You're sacrificing pronunciation in order to do a natural pace, which you are achieving. It sounds natural. The problem is that the words that you're saying, they don't really, I mean, people can feel that there is some improvements to make, but you are making yourself understandable, and that's something good. Okay, so I applaud you, I congratulate you, and keep going. Keep going. Right now, my focus is that you practice more speaking. So pronunciation and speaking come together, but the pace was natural. Remember, the pace is if it's natural, your speed, not too slow, not too fast, just normal. And you did it right. So thank you, Maria Eugenia.
Thank you.
Next, who comes next? Let me see, who are we missing? Maria Eugenia, Ronnie, group number 8. Ivan and Maria Mercedes, and finally Marcos and Michelle. All right, go ahead, Ivan and Maria Mercedes.
Maria Mercedes, have you ever had to live without the internet for a few days or more? When you were on holiday somewhere, or did you miss it a lot? Why not? Why not?
Okay, yes, I had, I had to live without the internet for a few days or more. And when I travel abroad, honestly, I don't like paying for roaming. I always go with my family, and I like to dedicate that time to with them. And usually it's an average of 6 to 10 days that I spend without internet. Although on the last trip, I did use roaming because I did a personal shopping service and needed. And you? Have you ever had to live without the internet for a few days or more? Example, when you were on holiday somewhere, did you miss it a lot? Why or why not?
Yes, I can live without it. I was in a place that I was without technology during 3 weeks approximately, and I didn't have problem with that because I was doing another activities that in that moment I didn't need the technology, so I can live with this without problem. Uh, Second question: Do you think Susan Moshart's experiment was a good idea? Why not?
Yes, because nowadays we are all very immersive in technology. And you? Do you think Susan's experiment was a good idea? Why? Why not?
Yes, I think that is a good idea because we have to learn to live without those gadgets to be most present in the life, doing another activities that we didn't need the technology. And the third question: if you had to do the experiment, what do you think you will miss the most? Why not?
I wouldn't have a problem with doing the experiment because I consider myself a person not depend on technology. But I believe that I will miss is watching series or Netflix or series on Netflix or be Prime Video, because I really enjoy watching the series or movies when I have a time. And you, if you had to do the experiment, what do you think you will miss the most and why?
The thing that I miss most is my cell phone because my cell phone is the object that I can do all the activities that I have to do, like homeworks, uh, things of the work, and the distractions like watch videos, watch movies, and social media. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Maria Mercedes and Ivan, that was very nice. I mean, as a conversation, the fact that this was not only question and answer, but when Maria Mercedes asked something and Ivan responded using a pronoun, using it as a reference to the object that was mentioned in the question, that is what a conversation is about. It's not just an interview, it's something that has to flow dynamically. Very good job, both of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ivan Almeida. You know, I'm wondering about something, Ivan. Maybe I shouldn't tell everyone, but I'm just concerned because Ivan, you have very good speaking skills. But I mean, sometimes when I check your activities in Moodle, you don't get very high scores. Why do we have this contrast? I don't get it.
I have a problem with the grammatic. I'm so bad with the grammatic tasks.
All right. Then, I mean, this is supposed to be a challenge for all the students. The fact that now the final exam is 80% speaking and 20% all the other all the other activities, reading, writing, grammar, vocabulary. But this is actually an opportunity for you, Ivan. You will get a very good grade in the exam, even if your grammar is not so good, because most of the exam is speaking, and you speak very well. So good for you. You have nothing to fear in the following exam. Okay, so we have Maria Mercedes and Ivan. Maria Mercedes, where are you? Here. 10. Okay, finally, Marcos and Michelle. Go ahead, guys.
Okay, Marcos, have you ever had to live
without the internet for a few days or more. When you were on holiday somewhere, did you miss it a lot? Why not?
Hello, Michelle. I had lived without the internet for 3 days because for some reason that I even don't understand, I didn't realize I ran out of mobile data. Uh, I was on holiday in Cursita, Manaví, with some relatives and friends of mine. You know, Cursita is a place where the internet is not as good as other places, but you can use it. For some reason, for example, like look for some restaurants or Google Maps. You know, when you don't know a place or you go for the first time, you need that to look for the websites. Honestly, I didn't miss the internet so much. I mean, I cannot live without, but when you spend time with close family and friends, you never care less about the time or websites. In other way, it's better you should have stayed at home in your room using the internet and not go out on holiday or something like that. What about you, Michelle? Do you have you ever had to live without the internet for a few days or more? For example, when you were on holiday somewhere, do you miss it a lot? Why?
Yes, it was 3 days in was on the farm the family. There was not access the internet, but didn't miss it because I was with the family and doing a lot many activities and games. Question to Marcos. Do you think Susan Monster experiment was a good idea? Why?
In my opinion, it was a good idea because it let everyone talk to each other and share moments. Could you please tell me what you think about Susan experiment? Do you think it was a good idea and why?
Yes, it was positive because it allows us to disconnect from technology and talk and have a social life. Question 3. If you had to do the experiment, what do you think you will miss the most? Why?
Well, in my case, if I had to do the experiment, it would be a challenge. You know, I will miss the internet and social media because I use the internet to look for restaurants and using the Google Maps. What I miss the most about social media is being catch up with the latest news and information. And tell me about you. If you had to do the experiment, what do you think you would miss the most and why?
I would do the experiment, but for a few days to disconnect the technology and relax and do many activities. I will not miss it because you can do many activities and without technology. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle.
All right, guys, very good. Mr. Marcos.
Yes, Mister.
Yeah, don't worry. You don't have to speak back. I'm just making up my thoughts. Marcos, you have a very good pace. The speed is correct. And the pronunciation is also correct. It's just like something feels weird. Vamos a hacer un paréntesis porque quiero ver cómo usted se expresa en español. Preséntese, diga su nombre y la carrera que estudia.
Interesante, mister. Bueno, mi nombre es Marco Marchán y estudio ingeniería en electricidad.
Okay, thank you, thank you. That's what I wanted to hear. So there's like a special personality in your voice. It's special, it's different. And that's what sounds like out of the box. But that's the way you express. So I have no comments on that. Your pace is correct, your pronunciation is correct, Marcos. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay. And in your case, Michelle, Michelle, I would like you to continue practicing. All right. Pronunciation is important, but in your case, I would like you to focus on your pace. The pace is very slow. It's more slow than what we can expect in level 6. All right. We need to speed up. We need to speak in a natural way. We are stopping, making very long pauses between words or short phrases that are affecting the communication. Okay, Michelle?
Okay, mister.
All right. All right, guys. Very nice. That was fun. Did you enjoy the activity? Yes? Do you, okay, but more than enjoying or not enjoying, do you think this activity was helpful to improve speaking skills? Yes? I would like a feedback. Nicole, what do you think about this activity?
I think that is interesting because I have a conversation with my other partner and interacting with, is say this? Interacting with
Interacting,
my
yes.
other partner is interesting.
Okay, thank you very much. It's interesting to get to know the other partners, right? Maybe
Yes.
people who are here are not in your same faculty, right? I believe Nicole, you were in nutrition, right?
Yes.
Yes, and the person that you worked with, who was it?
Was Cecilia.
Cecilia. And Cecilia, what do you study?
Physiotherapy.
Physiotherapy. All right, so that's not even the same faculty, right? I would guess physiotherapy is in medicine.
Yes, it's the same faculty. It's the
Same faculty.
faculty of medicine.
Oh, interesting. So you have seen Cecilia like in the hallway at least. En el pasillo, in the hallway.
Maybe.
Maybe. You don't remember. Okay.
Maybe.
And Cecilia, do you remember Nicole? No.
No.
Well, but I would guess so many people coming and going in the hallway of medicine. It's difficult to point out one specific person, right? All right, all right. Cecilia, just for curiosity, do you wear, as a physiotherapist, do you wear a coat? La bata blanca, the coat?
In the hospital?
Not in the hospital, in the university.
No.
No. What
No.
about you, Nicole? Do you wear it?
Yes, I use when I have practice.
When you have practice, but in the university.
Yes.
All right, that's interesting. Okay, thank you very much for sharing this information. I would like to review some of these things that you already told me. I remember that some of you have specific professions, but I don't remember all of you. Maria Mercedes, what about you? What are you studying? Can you remind me?
Business administration.
Business administration. But what exactly is the career? Is it the dual?
Administración de empresas.
Yeah, no, I know. I mean, but how is it called now? The degree that you will obtain, is it ingeniero comercial or is it licenciado?
No, licenciado en administración de empresas.
Okay, interesting. So nobody is ingeniero comercial anymore.
No.
Mm. That is interesting. That is, and I remember I lived that change. I lived that change. When I was a student in the university, I was going to obtain the degree of ingeniero en marketing when I was a student. But then I changed universities, and when I went back and studied, there was no ingeniería anymore. Then it was licenciatura en marketing, and everybody had the same situation. But nowadays, I don't think it makes a difference, right? Wilson, what are you studying? Remind me.
Business administration.
Business administration. Oh, so you know Maria Mercedes?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you friends?
Yep.
Maria Mercedes says no. No, yes, you are.
Yes.
Yes, I'm sorry. No, I'm just joking with you. Is there any other business administration student here? No? So only Maria Mercedes and Wilson. I remember Cristina. Cristina, you are studying to be a nurse. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes. Do we have any other nurses here? No? Nursing school? Because I do have another nursing student, but in another level. She's called Letty. Do you know any Letty, Cristina?
Yo estoy en internado, internship.
Internship. Yes,
Eh,
but in
no,
what hospital are you working, Cristina?
Teodoro Maldonado.
Yeah, and she also works in Teodoro Maldonado. So maybe you know each other. Fiallos. Yes, that's her last name. All right. What about you, Ronnie? What do you study?
I study economics.
Economics. Is there any other economist here? I don't think so. I don't remember any. Yes, who?
Yes, me.
Oh,
Me.
Adrian, right, Adrian. The thing is, I confused because Adrian told me once that he liked everything related with computer software. So in my mind, you were not economic student. You were more like a software engineer student. So do you know Ronnie?
Not really. I already finished
Oh,
my schedule
yes.
to graduate.
You're about to graduate. And Ronnie, what semester are you?
Yeah, in my last semester.
Last semester. All right, but you were very close to each other. I mean, in terms of semesters, unless Adrián has been egresado for a long time. Maybe that's it. How long have you been egresado, Adrián?
Maybe 1 year.
1 year, yes, that's a lot of time. Okay, very nice, very nice. I would like to ask this to one more person, Daniel. Daniel, what are you studying? Wait, something related with engineering, maybe civil engineering.
No, electrical engineer.
Electrical engineer. Yeah, well, it's in engineering anyways.
Yes.
Yes. And in what semester are you now?
And six.
Sixth semester.
Yes.
All right. Do you like your profession?
Yes, it's interesting.
It's interesting. I bet it is. I bet it is. All right. I remember Maria Eugenia is becoming a psychologist soon, right? Do we have any other psychologists in the class? I don't think so. We need a psychology, but we don't have any, just Maria Eugenia. Okay,
Yes.
Maria Eugenia, do you like your profession?
Psychology clinic.
Yes. Do you like it?
Yes.
Why?
Um, I working is the hospital. I listening a person
You like to listen to people. And do you work in the hospital? That's what you
Yes,
said? Which
yes,
hospital?
yes.
Which one?
Um, yes, the Sabres.
ES Sabos. Yeah, you told me
Uh-huh.
that. I remember you told me that. Okay. These I bet these are like the most popular hospital for medical students, right?
Uh-huh.
ES Sabos and Teodoro Maldonado. Those are the ones that I always listen to.
Yes, but I finish internado, o sea,
Yeah,
ya,
you
ya
finished the
terminé el internado.
internship. That's how
Ajá,
you call
ahora
it.
sí, solo estoy en la tesis ya.
Okay, but repeat, internship.
Internship,
Internship. Yes, you finished the
internship.
internship.
Ajá, I
All
finished
right,
internship.
very good. Thank you very much. Maria de Los Angeles, I completely forgot about yours. Can you remind me, please? Oh, no, yeah, I remembered. Dentist.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. You are about to become a dentist. Maria de Los Angeles, and I heard that there's some trouble. Actually, Luis Andrade is also working to become a dentist. Do you know him?
No.
No. But did you finish already? Are you waiting for your thesis or what
No,
semester are you?
I am in eighth semester.
Eighth semester.
Mhm.
And aren't you having trouble with this situation of the online classes?
Of course. Now I am really stressed because the doctors are talking about the possibility of we don't have clinics to attend the patients, and I don't still finish all my patients because we also have 2 weeks more for finish, and I have to pay 2 more patients to finish, and I can live
Wait. Did you say you
without
have to
treatment.
pay your patients?
Exactly.
Why would you pay your patients? Aren't you
The
helping them?
treatments. The
The what?
treatment. The treatments.
The treatment. Oh, you have to pay for your patient's treatment.
Yes, because when it's a situation that I think that all dentistry students pass, because you need to post yes or yes the clinic, and not all the patients have the money to pay their treatments, so you need to submit the pay of that, and
Wow.
mhm, and they are very expensive.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yes,
So besides paying your tuition fee,
exactly.
you have to pay for your patient's treatment.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very expensive, but
It's
you need to
very,
do it because if you don't do it, you don't pass.
of course, you don't pass. You need your patient.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I didn't know that. I heard that you needed patients, yes, and you had to look for patients, but not that you had to pay for the treatment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, interesting. All right, Maria de Los Angeles, thank you for sharing. I was asking you this because Luis told me that you had like a meeting now where you were almost solving the situation you're going through. Did you attend the meeting?
No,
No. All right. Then Luis attended the meeting, so he can let you know
maybe
what
he's in
happened.
another level.
Yeah, maybe he's in another level.
Maybe in the last one, because I heard that the 10th semester is going to have a meeting with the director
Right.
at the tower.
Because it's 10 semesters. I
Mm-hmm.
thought they were 8.
No, 10.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. All right. So much time in university. 10 semesters, 5 years. Nowadays, you can do a career in 1 or 2 years, a master's in one, and another master's in one, and during those 5, you could already completed so much.
Eso, y aparte de la rural.
Oh no, don't don't start on that. I I feel you. That's all I can tell you. There.
Thank you.
Okay, okay. Valeria Larrea, I want to know about you. Remind me what you're studying.
Medicine.
Oh, you're a medicine student,
Mhm. Yes.
right? And what semester are you?
8th semester.
Eighth semester.
Yes, almost
Be-
done.
Almost
Well,
done.
no, I need the internship and la rural.
Wow.
So yes, 3 more years.
3 more years. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, please. Don't you want to be English teacher, babe? Because that's faster.
Well, I like so much English, but no, I want to be a doctor.
Okay, that's good. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. In my case,
Well, a doctor in United States. It sounds cool.
it's not that cool. I mean, do you have references?
Yes, I was searching for like to do the steps, and I can do that now, but I have to see if the university have like, I don't know, you can go to do the steps, and you can go to study there, to do the internship there, and this I want to do it, but it's too expensive.
Yeah,
Like
I know.
you,
It is too expensive. Even for American citizens, it's expensive. It's even more
yes.
expensive for you as a foreign student.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And you have to search where to live, the university, the hospital, the contacts, all of that. And I don't know no one like aside to be a doctor there.
Yeah. Maybe your path is not through education. Maybe you can do it in a different way. I have a friend who is also a doctor. She graduated in Católica. She did a master's degree in Spain, and she was doing the steps that you told me. And she told me
Mm.
that if she has no other way to go to United States, then her second option is definitely Spain. So
Well,
maybe you should have some alternatives. What's your second choice?
yes, my second choice is Argentina. Argentina.
Argentina.
Yes. Well, but I really want to go to United States to study to be a doctor there.
Yeah. Do you like Grey's Anatomy?
Yes.
Okay. No influence at all.
No,
Okay. That's good. That's good because many people do things for the wrong reasons. I don't
no,
think you're
no,
in that
no.
group.
It was because I like medicine, like since I was a child. I
Since
saw,
you were a child.
yes, I saw all the programs, TV shows, and I
Which one's
said
your
like
favorite? We can talk about that because I know them too.
the TV shows.
Yes, medicine TV shows.
I don't remember the name, but it's the one that I don't know, the one that talk about medicine. It was in Televisa, like
Oh, it
Guavis.
was in Spanish.
I read. Yes, it was
In
Spanish.
Spanish. All right.
Yes, it was from here, and obviously Doctor House and all of that.
Obviously, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Those are a must. All right,
Mm-hmm.
Valeria. Thank you very much for sharing.
Okay.
One last person before we continue. I know if you're not speaking, this conversations might be boring, but believe me, as you are listening, you are processing information in your brain. So this is still practicing, even if it's not you, the one who's speaking. But now it is your turn to speak before you get asleep, Johnny. What's your turn? What is it that you're studying?
What I study,
Yes.
software engineer.
Software engineer. You are the software engineer. So,
Yes.
Johnny, can you hack WhatsApp?
Maybe.
Yeah, the typical question. Can you hack Facebook?
Maybe.
Maybe you can. All right. What do you like the most about your profession, Johnny?
Can you repeat the question?
What is it that you like the most about your profession?
I like the software developer.
Software development. Have you developed any software recently?
Yes, some.
About what?
Now I am working in software of invoice invoice electronic
Yes, electronic invoice software.
electronic invoices. So
All right, that's good. That's good. I'm using the one that provides SRE. So, I mean, it's very simple, but it does what you need. But I bet you're working for something more complex that will connect many areas of the company, right? That's what you should be doing.
Yes, exactly.
All right. You know, Johnny, there's something interesting about your profession. Most of the jobs that I know, most of the people that I know that have your profession are currently working um, remotely.
Yes,
Yeah.
I work remotely too.
You work remotely too. That's good. And is your employer, the business where you work for, is that a national business or is it an international company?
International is in Spain.
Is in Spain. You see, this is what we're dealing with. So nowadays we have Johnny working remotely, and right now he is learning English, but maybe on Monday, on Tuesday, he could go to Salinas, he could go to Playas and continue working there, right? You could, but your face
Yes,
tells me that you don't do it. Why
maybe
not?
when I finish the thesis, the
Uh-huh.
university, I
Yeah,
can be more
you can
free.
have that freedom.
Yeah.
So you will be considered digital nomad.
Yes.
Good, good.
Uh,
Yeah, I envy you. Although not really, because this job, even as an English teacher, this is online. Right now, I'm not even in Ecuador, but you can do the work in a different place, and that's something positive, something that most of our generation will be striving to get. Thank you, Johnny, for sharing.
Okay.
Michelle, what do you study?
Architecture.
Architecture. I believe we have another architect here. Was it Ivan?
No.
I'm in civil engineering.
Civil engineering. Yes, yes. I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm going after Ivan in a moment. Michelle, architecture. Have you
Yeah.
this? I mean, what's the most complex thing that you have designed so far?
Mm, it's difficult.
It's difficult to say.
Mm, Yes.
All right. I'm going to ask you something different. Considering that architecture is not just about precision, but it's also artwork. It's art. Which is your favorite architecture structure?
Mm.
Do you have a favorite architecture structure?
My favorite architect is Zaha Hadid.
Where is that? In India?
Yes.
All right. And why is this your favorite?
Repeat, please.
Why is this your favorite? Why?
Because the farm is fantastic in the construction is difficult farm the farm in the system construct
Aha, the construction system
system construction system is good.
is good. All right. Thank you for sharing this information, Michelle. I'm going back to Ivan. Ivan, you're a civil engineer, right?
A student still.
Yeah, I mean, civil engineer student, that's what I meant. Ivan, and can you explain how the pyramids in Egypt were built?
I'm sorry, repeat the last
Yeah, the
part.
question is, do you know how the pyramids of Egipto, the pyramids,
Oh, okay, okay.
how they were built?
No. O
Yeah,
sea,
no, I mean, nobody does. But what's your favorite theory now that you are a civil engineer?
well, I think that is uh, there was a really exploitation of the esclave,
The
what is it?
slaves.
Of a real exploitation of the slaves.
Uh-huh.
And was a very long time to build that parameters. So I don't think that was built by the aliens or some spirit or something like this.
Okay, you trust that they were the slaves,
Yes.
but very strong slaves because each of those blocks weighs like 1 ton.
Oh, I learned that they use a very exactly method to, for example, cut the rocks or cut
Cut the
the
rocks.
or what I say, llevar una cosa al otro.
To carry.
To carry the carry the very carry the rocks, carry the old materials to one place to other. They use also very exactly method that only they had to think. They think.
All
They
right.
create.
Yeah, it makes sense, but still, everything is a theory. It's very difficult to know for certain what happened so long ago. Thank you, Ivan, for sharing your ideas. Next person to speak will be Julissa. Julissa, remind me what you study.
I already graduate with a degree in accounting and auditing.
Oh, so you are already a professional.
Yes, como quien dice, yo egresé porque para
Oh.
graduarme tengo que terminar inglés.
Yeah, but that's not graduating then. I thought you already had a
Okay.
degree.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so
Just
you finished all your credits. If you want, you can say that. You finished your credits.
okay. Sí, yes.
All right.
I already do my thesis. Just
So all you
everything.
need is English.
Yes.
Wow. No pressure on me.
No.
No pressure on me.
No.
Okay. So if I say
Me
that
too,
you don't
mister.
pass, what did you say, Maria Mercedes? What? I didn't get you.
Oh, me too. The English is my final grade.
Oh, good to know. Good to so that means that if I don't pass you, you have to repeat and you will be staying in the university for God knows how
For
long.
a long time. Yeah.
Yes. All right. Good to know. I mean, it's interesting to know, but there's nothing I can do about it because my position is simply to teach you and to see
Mhm.
how well you do. That's it.
Okay.
It's all up to you. It's not up to me, really. All right.
Okay.
So, Yulisa, accounting. Are you working as an accountant already? Maybe accounting assistant?
I am a treasury assistant. I
A
am
treasury
working.
assistant.
Treasury assistant is like payments, banks, mm, yes, payments and banks. Everything, todo lo que tenga que ver con pagos a
Why do you
proveedores.
keep insisting on Spanish, Yulisa? You have to demonstrate that I need to pass you.
Okay,
Don't speak
okay.
Spanish, speak English.
Everything that englobe
Close, all right.
englobes payment suppliers, payment.
Paying suppliers.
Exactly.
Okay.
Payment suppliers. Mhm.
So you pay the suppliers of the business where you work in.
Mhm.
Okay, Julissa, very nice. Thank you for sharing.
Okay.
I mean, now that we are in this, I would like everybody to talk about their career. It's been a very interesting practice, at least for me. I'm having fun here, and I'm getting to know you. So,
Okay.
my next question is for Andrea Sanchez. Andrea, remind me what you study, please. Something related with business, I guess.
Yes, mister, I study economics.
Economics. I was asking for economics student. So I mean, Adrián is also economics. Ronnie is also economics. Do you know Ronnie?
Yes.
Yes. Are you friends?
Yes. partner, thesis partner.
Thesis partners.
Yes.
Wow, that's important. That's important. That's an important relationship right now. Who knows after the thesis? All right. So, Andrea, tell me something. Oh, this is a polemic question. Nowadays, most of us should know that in Argentina, there is this polemic president. And I would like you to give me your opinion. Do you agree with his philosophy? Do you disagree? What's your position about this? I'm talking about Milei. Go ahead. As
Yes.
an economist, not as a president, by the way. This is not a politics situation. This is economics purely.
No, no situation Argentina.
You don't know
There,
the situation in Argentina. Okay, that's a good start.
excuse me?
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, continue.
Eh, eh, o sea, de la situación de Argentina.
No, I'm asking you for the person, the economist. Do you know Javier Milei? No?
Más o menos.
Okay, no. Then I'm going to withdraw this question and ask you something different. I'm going to keep that question maybe for Adrian. Adrian, prepare your answer. I am going to ask you about this. Andrea, tell me something. Along your career, you learned many different theories, economic theories. Do you consider yourself more neoclassic or more Keynesian?
Keynesian.
You're more Keynesian. Why?
For the theories is
The theory
the theories is enfoque.
has a different focus.
Yes. No.
Well, remember, there is supposed to be like a match between your profession and language, right? This is the moment. I mean, you can speak English, you can talk about your free time, the things that you do every day. But once I ask you something about your profession, this is actually tough. This is a difficult question. So, Keynesian theory has a different focus. What is the focus? Tell us in simple words so everybody understand what this is about. All right, Andrea, I'm not going to force you with this answer. I know it's a difficult question. I am going to ask you something else. Are you working now? Are you working or only studying?
No, Mr. For moments is the thesis.
For the moment, you're only doing the thesis.
The paper.
All right, and where would you like to work after you graduate?
Live. O sea,
Aha, where would you like to work? Would you like to work in a bank? Would you like to work in a company? Would you like to work in the public sector?
a company is after a business.
In a business.
Yes.
All right. All right, Andrea, thank you very much. I'm sorry to force you with difficult questions. These were really difficult, even for a C1 level student. It would be difficult. Adrian Antonio, ready to give me your answer? What do you think about this guy I asked you?
Milei, like economist. And for be honest, when I was in the first semester, for me was an interesting person. I mean, um, we are really interesting thinking. I follow him about some years. I never imagined that he become a president.
I
Well,
did.
but
I have been
I, wa-
following him as a president, and he was, I mean, he was going to be president, obviously. Continue, sorry.
yes. So I I agree about something that he say about his thinking because, for be honest, I a follower of Austria school. I mean, I
Okay.
like the Austria thinking, but I also think that in reality, some politics is no it's hard to
Feasible?
apply.
Feasible?
Yeah,
I think that's the word
flexible,
you're looking for. Factible.
but flexible.
Feasible.
It's hard to the factor in the reality because in the market need a state that can hack regulation but for each person hack the same opportunity to hack a space in the market.
Mhm.
So for this the state is unnecessary. About the thing that I was thinking that um, the state intervention can be bigger or lower depending on the situation. That I think. I mean, can be lower. I think because bigger like some country can be very problem. Like I don't know. Uh, yeah, can be extreme. Communist. Well, you know, no?
I know.
So for me, the idea is interesting, but I need to think about how is the reality of this world because the politic that he say is similar to the politic that applied Alberto Fujimori in Peru in the end
The
to in the 1960s. It's similar because Peru in that moment had a big inflation. So in that moment he applied similar politics to now Javier Milei is presenting. So that about for that can be similar result because after that Peru has a lower inflation and other things, but
for many
uh,
years.
for many yeah. So back on the contrary, Peru has other problem like war market, well, or other things that is important. It's important to know, but I think in the end he will he will can do
He will do.
that he will do that he say on the campaign. I mean he will do because he say I will he say will decrease the inflation. Maybe I think that he will do, but I don't know about other things like uh, mm, the other thing about especially about this you I don't know how to say estado de bienestar.
Uh-huh. Welfare state.
Well, welfare state. I don't know how Argentina will be about welfare
Welfare
state. I
state.
know
All right.
because the politics have a good impact about welfare state, specifically in a long period. I
Yes,
think
in the
that
long term.
can be hard. I mean, it's an interesting situation for a study, but I know how be the reality when people lie in Argentina. I don't know. It's hard.
All right. Thank you for sharing your comments. You know, every time I ask a question to Adrian, Adrian really likes to speak, right? Besides your answers. And yes, I have a similar position than you do, Adrian. We have to see. Some things sound right, but at the end, the theory versus the practice, we have to see if they really match. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are gonna take 15 additional minutes. Yeah, we are 30 minutes before ending. So I am going to prepare a short activity in Flipgrid, okay, where I want you to give me a no more than 1 minute, actually, yes, If it's less, maybe 40 seconds, it's good because I just want you to give me one simple answer. Why did you study the career that you studied? All right. Some of you already answered this here live, but I need to keep track of this in Flipgrid. That will be the question. All right. I am going to share with you this activity right away in Flipgrid and send you the link. Right. This is English 6W. Why did you study your career? Okay. Simple question that requires, 45 seconds. That's it. Publicar. And here's the link for everybody in the chat. Okay. Considering this is a simple answer, I will give you 5 minutes. 5 minutes, record your answer, and then we come back and continue checking what we're doing, okay? 5 minutes only.
A short answer, right?
You can answer right away, but in Flipgrid, please.
I mean, short answer or long?
Oh, yeah, short answer. I put here no more than 45 seconds. Very short answer, 45 seconds, no more than that.
Mister,
Yes, Wilson.
lo que pasa es que tengo que salir de urgencia. Ya grabé el video. ¿Me podría retirar? Disculpe.
I mean, I would just need you to send the video. Did you send it already?
Yes.
All right. So, yeah, okay, Wilson. Thank you.
Gracias.
I'll start checking in 1 minute. All right, guys, it's time. So let's begin with the first videos. Let me see, are they organized? Yes.
Hi, I decided to study business administration because I always had the vision of having my owns with the business and through the career has the fundamental foundation to be able to manage it correctly.
Okay. Well, Wilson is no longer here, so I'm not giving the feedback now. Move on.
I study economics. Well, I decided to study economics because I was wanted managing my own business as a CAO or work in a finance sector like in a bank. And I like watch movies or series about economics like The Wolf of Wall Street.
All right, Ronnie, thank you very much. Good motivation, by the way. Good motivation. Now, the only thing is your career is not a economist. Yeah, it's not economy, it's economics. Economist is the person, economista, economist. But the profession, economía, it's economics. Okay, keep that in mind. Next.
Well, I'm studying medicine because it was my dream when I was a child, and like I want to be a doctor that can be save life, that can be give people another opportunities in life, and can find medicine for diseases. And I want to be a cardiothoracic surgeon. Is my dream. Can know everything about the heart, can save life, and all of that. So this.
Very nice, Valeria. I was already wondering what your specialization be about. She just answered that doubt. Valeria Larrea. Okay. Next.
Well, hello everyone. I study my career that is economy because I would like to know how the global economy works. I mean, one of the main things on the world is economic. I mean, everywhere you can find economic. So for that, about some years, I really want to know how is this work, how is the function of this. So that is the main thing because I study economics.
Okay, Adrian, very nice. We already had a conversation, so just the correction of the pronunciation. It's economics. Economics. Right?
Yes, now
Now you
now I
know.
listen. Yeah, now you know.
Don't worry. It's never too late. All right, next. Oh, ya visto todo? I don't think so. No, we have plenty. All right, next. Ronnie, Wilson, Valeria, Adrian, Johnny.
Well, the reason why I choose the career of software engineer was because since I was a child, I have been a big fan of computer, especially the software. I was always curious to know how the application I use every day were made inside.
Okay, Mr. Johnny, thank you very much.
I study this career because I like how they treat people with injuries they have and how evolution. In addition, all types of patients are treated from babies and older adults. You learn many techniques and about humans' anatomy.
Okay, Cecilia, your description was nice and good motivation. The only problem is that you never mentioned your career. You just said I studied this career, but which one is it? What are you? Nurse, doctor, physiotherapist? Is very specific. All right, but never mind. Next time.
The reason why I am studying economics is because it was I am well for my future and as a reality mentioned, my focus is more on the private part more than anything because I consider it that it's good start to make my objective, what is be able to start a business that can basically be a gym or sometimes else that catches my attention is good. I love it.
All right, Andrea, a little bit more volume would be very helpful, but thank you for sharing your thoughts. Andrea, there you are. Next.
I decided to study nutrition because it is a career that attracted me. I love science. I was at high school and I started to investigate a little more about the world of health, food, and fitness world. I have always wanted to learn to how to make my own diets, but it is also important to help others, and that is important. That I have always liked to change the lifestyle of the others, sharing what I know and helping.
All right, Nicole, one fast question. Are you fan of diets?
Yes, and o sea, I mean that the diet are the that you eat that you me hice bola.
Don't worry, don't worry. Try to unscramble your thoughts.
Um, o sea, I mean that you choose that you eat every day the food you eat every day,
Mhm.
and but you can choose the ay, de
The right
the right food and
quantity?
yes.
Yes. Okay. I'm trying to unscramble your message. What I think is that you're trying to say not all diets work for all people, right? Is that your conclusion?
Mm, maybe.
Maybe that's it. So maybe I didn't understand it. But anyway, that's why we have nutritionists, right? They are supposed to help us to know what's the healthiest way to reach our objectives, depending on what we want to achieve. That's what Nicole was studying for, right? Yes, it's all about helping people and helping yourself, of course. All right, next, thank you.
I studied my career because since I was a child, I have always like the great structures like buildings, like dams or streets, and know how it works and have constructed by from the beginnings to the final phase of construction. I admire the people who construct that in the hopes, and I hope the people who can construct that.
Very good, Ivan. Thank you very much. Let's continue.
Okay, I started my career because the career I really liked it was very expensive for my parents' afford, and but today I can say
that I liked what I studied. And that's all.
All right, this is an interesting thought. Maria Mercedes, are you here? What was the career that you wanted to study in the first place?
Love.
Love.
Yes.
Love or law?
Law.
Okay, I thought it was love. That's not a career.
Yeah. Yeah. O sea,
Okay. Yeah.
mainly, okay, was because my parents could afford it,
Mhm.
but in the case they couldn't pay it in the future, for me was easier than pay the business administration than a law degree.
Yes, I understand, Maria Mercedes. Thank you for your honesty. And do you regret this decision? Do you regret it? Regret means se lamenta.
No, no,
No.
because now I like it. I like my career.
That's good. That's the most important thing. All right. Thank you for sharing. Let's continue.
My career is very difficult, but I decided to study because I have the dream of learning to build and design homes and buildings important.
All right. Thank you for sharing, Michelle. You just forgot to mention the career, architecture, and a important goes first, right? Wait, well, where was it?
Important. And buildings important.
Buildings important, edificios important, o construcciones importantes. But in English, it's the opposite. Important buildings, not building importance. First the adjective and
Okay.
then the noun. All
Okay.
right, Michelle, thank you very much. Let's continue. Oh, ya he visto todo? I don't think so. Let me refresh the page. And let's see what we have. Oh, yes, we have plenty. Marcos, you're next.
I study electrical engineering for different reasons. The first one is because I like to solve problems. For example, everyone has drunk beer, for example. You know that the process to to make the beer involves machines, so the machines has to be always working. So that's a process that you can solve. Another point that I like is that there is a high demand job. You know, you can work here in different factories and even outside, I mean, in another country.
Very good. Thank you, Marcos, for your comment. Let's continue.
Well, I already have a degree in accounting and auditing. I studied because it's a very demanding career in the country and with the opportunity to grow in the financial file. I consider that the career teach you a lot of as a financial and accountant. And I really like that you can perform various functions not only in the accounting area but also in the financial file. It is also very useful to learn how to start a business from scratch.
Very nice, Julissa. Only one correction. You don't already have a degree, right? You still need to pass English. Only that.
Okay.
Okay, you can say that, I don't know, in March, in April, not now.
Okay.
Okay, hi. I study clinical psychology because I admired psychologists. I like to read a lot. I wanted to understand human behavior. I like to help others and listen. I want to help everyone who is vulnerable and needs to work on their mental health.
Nice job. Nice job. I feel that you're improving very fast, Maria Eugenia. Seriously, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, next.
Since I was in high school, I knew that.
Wait, I need to make this correction now because this is like very repeated. It's not signs, it's since. Since I was a child, since I was very young, it's since, not signs. Okay, sorry, Maria de Los Angeles, I used your video for pointing this out. This has been an issue for many videos before, but I just remember to make the correction now.
That I wanted something related to medical science. At school, I really liked subjects related to anatomy, chemical, and science. And the teacher that we had, she was very good on it. So when I entered to the university, I have to decide between medical or dentistry. And I decided on dentistry because of the practical part. I really like it, and being able to restore people's trust again. And without a doubt, I will not change my career, although it can often be difficult and expensive. I really like it.
Very nice. Very nice. So it's not just about teeth, it's about giving back people's confidence. That's good.
And without a doubt, I will not change.
Where was it?
Part I really like it, or dentistry. And I decided on dentistry because of the practical part.
Yeah, never mind. But it was a very nice message. I really enjoy it.
Hi, my name is Luis Andrade. My career is odontology. Really, I studied odontology because my father is dentistry. I was thinking about what career study, and this is 5 years ago. So I was interested in this career because I saw my father do anything procediments or chirurgy treatments. So I started study this career.
Very nice, Luis. This is a nice motivation. Following your dad's path is also something very, very plausible. Luis is here. Okay, next.
I am a student news because I like to help people. News and provides physical and emotional support, and being by the patients, say providing support make their recovery much faster, and it is very satisfaction to see who patients get better and can you home to their family.
Thank you for sharing, Christina. It would be great if you said that you were studying in nursing school, right? You missed that part. Let's continue. Daniel.
What did I study my career? I studied electrical engineer because education institutions, plants, or industries needs professionals to carry out electrical inspection, maintenance, and installation. Because the electrical system is such place may present faults such as overload or short circuits that must be correct for proper operation.
Very nice. So you saw that there was an opportunity in your career and you could do very good jobs. All right.
Yes, mister.
Thank you for sharing, Daniel. Let me see. Are we missing anyone? No, we're not. All right, guys. Thank you very much. This was a fun session for all the things that you were able to share. And that's it. I hope you have a great week. See you next Saturday. Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye bye.
Bye, mister.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, Mr. Thank you.
Teacher, no se olvide de lo que le dije.
Yes, Nicole. I will look into that right now.
Mister, ayer la actividad de Flip Brand que me mandó a repetir y ya la volví a subir el video.
Thank you, Michelle.